I'm Daniel, a software engineer in Seattle, married to Claire for 8 years. We met at a tech conference, her sharp wit cutting through the noise of a crowded panel. She's a graphic designer, her creativity a vibrant contrast to my methodical world. Our life together feels like a well-written code. Functional, elegant, predictable. We live in a cozy craftsman house, host dinner parties with friends like Mark and Emily, and plan vacations to places like Banff or Lisbon. Claire's laughter fills our home, her auburn hair catching sunlight as she sketches in the living room. I trust her implicitly, the way you trust gravity to hold you to the earth. Lately, though, there's a glitch. Claire's been distant, her phone buzzing more than usual. She dismisses it as client work, her design firm taking on a big project for a local startup. I nod, believing her because why wouldn't I? But the late nights at her studio, the way she angles her screen away when I walk by, it's like a faint static in the background of our marriage. I brush it off, chalking it up to stress. I'm busy too, debugging code for a fintech app, my evenings spent in the glow of monitors. We're both stretched thin, I tell myself. That's all. Our friend group keeps us grounded. Mark, a real estate agent with a booming laugh, and Emily, a pediatric nurse with a knack for baking, come over every Friday. We play board games, sip wine, and debate everything from politics to sci-fi novels. Claire's always been the spark of these nights, her stories animated, her eyes bright. But last week, she was quiet, her smiles forced. Mark noticed too, nudging me later. Everything okay with Claire? I shrugged, said she was just tired. He didn't push, but his question lingered like a shadow. I decide to surprise her. I plan a weekend getaway to the San Juan Islands. Just us, no distractions. I book a cabin, imagining us kayaking, cooking over a fire, reconnecting. I don't tell her yet, wanting to see her face light up when I reveal it. As I finalize the reservation, her phone pings on the counter. A name flashes, Ethan. Not a client I know. My stomach twists, but I don't look. I'm not that guy, the one who snoops. I trust Claire. I have to. The alternative is a crack in the foundation of everything we've built. I push the thought away, focusing on the cabin, the kayaks, the stars we'll see. I don't know yet that the stars are already falling. The next morning, I wake to Claire humming in the kitchen, making coffee. It's a small relief, her warmth cutting through the unease from last night. She kisses my cheek, her perfume, jasmine and cedar, familiar and grounding. We talk about mundane things, her deadline for a logo design, my meeting with a new client. But as she leaves for her studio, her phone buzzes again. She glances at it, her face unreadable, and tucks it into her bag. Client stuff, she says too quickly. I nod, but the static in my mind grows louder. At work, I can't focus. My code feels sloppy, errors piling up like unanswered questions. Ethan. The name gnaws at me. I know an Ethan Caldwell, a photographer who collaborated with Claire's firm last year. He's tall, charismatic, with a disarming smile that makes people feel seen. I met him at a gallery opening, his work bold and evocative, much like Claire's. They'd laughed easily together, their creative minds syncing in a way that felt professional then. Now, it feels like a loose thread in a tapestry I thought was flawless. I try to rationalize it. They're probably working together again. Claire's firm does photography for campaigns. It's normal. But why the late-night texts? Why the guarded glances? I shake it off, diving back into my code. But the doubt lingers. That evening, I suggest dinner at our favorite Italian place, hoping to bridge the gap I feel growing. Claire agrees, but her enthusiasm feels performative, like she's playing a role. At the restaurant, she's distracted, checking her phone under the table. I ask about her day, and she gives vague answers, her eyes darting away. When we get home, she heads to the shower, leaving her phone on the nightstand. It's unlocked, a rare oversight. My pulse races. I've never violated her privacy, but the temptation is a physical weight. I pick up the phone, my thumb hovering over the messages. I see Ethan's name, a string of texts. My heart pounds, but I set the phone down, unopened. I can't cross that line. Not yet. Instead, I pour a whiskey and sit in the dark, the San Juan Islands plan feeling like a naive dream. I tell myself I'm overreacting, that Claire loves me, that our life is solid. But the thread is pulling, and I can feel the fabric of our marriage starting to fray. The next day, I call Mark. He's always been a sounding board, his blunt honesty a counterpoint to my overthinking. Over beers at a pub, I mention Claire's distance, the texts, Ethan's name. Mark frowns, his usual joviality dimmed. "Talk to her, man," he says. "Don't let it fester." His tone carries a weight I can't place, like he knows more than he's saying. I leave the pub unsettled, the static now a roar I can't ignore. Days pass, and the distance between Claire and me grows tangible, like a cold fog settling in our home. She's still affectionate. Kisses before work, a hand on my shoulder during dinner, but it feels mechanical, like muscle memory. Her phone is never far, her fingers quick to swipe away notifications. I try to engage her, suggesting we binge a new series or cook together, but she's evasive, citing late nights at the studio. I want to believe her, but the name Ethan haunts me, a specter I can't banish. I start noticing details I'd overlooked. Claire's wardrobe has shifted, new dresses, bolder colors, outfits I don't remember her buying. She's wearing makeup more often, even for casual studio days. Last night, she came home smelling faintly of cigarette smoke, though she doesn't smoke. Ethan does, I recall, from that gallery opening. He'd stepped outside for a cigarette, Claire joking about his artist's vice. The memory twists like a knife, but I tell myself it's coincidence. People smoke. Studios get smoky. I'm building a case out of nothing. At work, my productivity tanks. My boss, Sarah, pulls me aside, asking if I'm okay. I lie, saying it's just a tough project. She doesn't buy it but lets it go. I spend my lunch break Googling Ethan Caldwell. His website showcases his photography, moody portraits, urban landscapes, a few shots for Claire's firm. His Instagram is public, filled with artsy posts and candid moments. I scroll, hating myself for it, until I find a photo from last week. A coffee shop, 2 cups on the table, a woman's hand in the frame. The ring on her finger is Claire's, a simple silver band I gave her years ago. My chest tightens. Could be innocent. It has to be. That evening, I confront her, gently. Over dinner, I ask about her project, about Ethan. Her fork pauses mid-air, her eyes flickering with something. Guilt? Fear? She recovers quickly, saying Ethan's just helping with a photo shoot, nothing more. Her voice is steady, but her hands tremble slightly. I want to press, to demand the truth, but I back off, afraid of shattering what's left of us. Instead, I suggest the San Juan Islands trip. Her smile is strained, and she says she'll check her schedule. The rejection stings, a confirmation of the chasm between us. Later, I overhear her on the phone, her voice low, laughing in a way she hasn't with me in weeks. I catch fragments. "Tomorrow? Yeah, same place." My blood runs cold. I don't know who she's talking to, but the intimacy in her tone is unmistakable. I lie awake that night, Claire asleep beside me, her breathing soft but foreign. The thread has snapped, and the tapestry is unraveling. I'm not ready to face it, but I know I can't look away much longer. I can't live in this limbo anymore. The uncertainty is a poison, seeping into every corner of my life. I'm barely sleeping, my dreams haunted by Claire's laughter, now directed at someone else. I need answers, even if they destroy me. The next morning, I call in sick, something I've never done. Claire leaves for her studio, her goodbye kiss perfunctory. I wait until her car pulls away, then I grab her laptop. It's password protected, but I know her habits. After a few tries, I'm in her desktop, a chaotic sprawl of design files and folders. I open her email, my heart hammering. There's a thread with Ethan, dozens of messages spanning months. I skim, each word a punch to the gut. They're not just collaborating. The emails start professional, discussing shoots, timelines, but evolve into something else. Flirtations, inside jokes, plans to meet outside work. One email, dated last week, mentions a hotel downtown. Can't wait to see you, Ethan writes. Claire's reply, you make everything better. My vision blurs, anger and grief colliding. I want to stop, but I keep going, a masochist seeking the full scope of the betrayal. Her cloud storage is next. I find photos, hundreds of them, synced from her phone. There's Claire and Ethan at a bar, her head on his shoulder. Another at a park, his arm around her waist. A selfie in a hotel room, her hair tousled, his grin smug. The timestamps span 6 months. 6 months of lies, of her coming home to me, smiling, while carrying this secret life. I feel hollow, like my insides have been carved out. The woman I love, the life I built, it's all a facade. I cross a line I never thought I would. I download an app to track her phone's location. It's invasive, wrong, but I'm beyond ethics now. The app pings, showing her at a coffee shop downtown, not her studio. I drive there, my hands shaking on the wheel. Through the window, I see them. Claire and Ethan sitting close, her hand on his. She laughs, radiant in a way she hasn't been with me. He leans in, their foreheads touching. It's intimate, undeniable. I don't go inside. I can't. I drive home, the image burned into my mind. Back at the house, I sit in our living room surrounded by photos of us, our wedding, trips, holidays. They mock me now, relics of a lie. I don't cry. I'm too angry, too betrayed. I think of confronting her, of screaming, but that feels too small. This pain demands something bigger, something that matches the devastation she's caused. I don't know what yet, but the seed of vengeance takes root. I won't let this destroy me. I'll destroy her instead, not physically, but in a way that cuts deeper. I just need a plan. The days after seeing Claire with Ethan are a blur of rage and calculation. I go through the motions, work, dinner, small talk, while inside, I'm a storm. Claire doesn't notice, too wrapped up in her secret. Her obliviousness fuels me. She thinks she's untouchable, that I'm the fool who'll never suspect. But I'm awake now, and I see everything. I stop checking her phone or emails. I don't need more proof. I need action, a way to make her feel the weight of what she's done. I start by gathering information. Ethan's life is an open book, thanks to his public persona. He's successful but arrogant, his Instagram a shrine to his ego. I dig deeper, using skills from my coding days to access less public corners of his digital footprint. I find his business records, his clients, his financials. He's leveraged, borrowing heavily to fund his photography studio. A few missed payments could tip him over. Claire's firm, too, is vulnerable. Her biggest client is a startup with shaky funding. I file this away, pieces of a puzzle I'm building. Revenge can't be impulsive. It has to be surgical, leaving no trace back to me. I think about exposing them, humiliating them publicly, but that's too fleeting. Social shame fades. I want something that lingers, that dismantles their worlds. I consider financial ruin, professional sabotage, but I need to hurt Claire where it matters most. Her pride, her identity as an artist. Ethan, too, he thrives on admiration. Stripping that away would be poetic. I test the waters at our next game night with Mark and Emily. Claire's late, stuck at the studio. I mention Ethan casually, watching their reactions. Emily's smile falters, and Mark changes the subject. They know something or suspect it. I don't press, but their discomfort confirms I'm not alone in my suspicions. It's a small validation, but it strengthens my resolve. I start planting seeds, subtle comments about Claire's late nights, her stress. I want our friends to question her without me saying it outright. At home, I play the devoted husband, cooking her favorite meals, suggesting date nights. She's receptive but distracted, her mind elsewhere. It's almost laughable, how she thinks she's fooling me. Each smile she fakes, each lie she tells, sharpens my focus. I spend nights in my home office researching, planning. I sketch out scenarios, leaking Ethan's financial troubles to his creditors, undermining Claire's client relationships. But the centerpiece is still forming, something crueler, something that will make them both regret crossing me. By week's end, I have the outline of a plan. It's risky, requiring precision, but the thought of it excites me. For the first time since this began, I feel in control. Claire and Ethan think they're the protagonists of their little story. They're wrong. I'm the one writing the ending, and it won't be happy. I've become an actor in my own life, wearing the mask of a loving husband while my mind churns with vengeance. Claire doesn't suspect a thing, her guilt cloaked in breezy smiles and half-hearted affection. She's out working again tonight, leaving me alone in our craftsman house, the silence amplifying my resolve. I pour a whiskey and sit at my desk, refining my plan. It's not enough to ruin them financially or socially. I want to strip away what they value most. Their creativity, their identities as artists. That's the wound that will fester. Ethan's vulnerability is his studio, a sleek space downtown he rents at a premium. His creditors are already circling, thanks to my anonymous tips about his missed payments. I've hacked into his email child's play for someone with my skills, and found correspondence with a gallery owner, Laura, who's planning a major exhibit of his work. It's his big break, a chance to cement his name in Seattle's art scene. Claire's involved too, designing the promotional materials. Their collaboration is a twisted mirror of our marriage, and it makes my blood boil. I start small, sowing chaos. Using a burner email, I send Laura a tip about Ethan's financial instability, suggesting she vet his reliability. I don't expect her to cancel the exhibit, but doubt is a slow poison. For Claire, I target her startup client, sending an anonymous report to their CEO about budget overruns in her department. It's subtle, but it'll erode her reputation. These are just the opening moves, distractions to keep them off balance while I craft the real blow. At home, I keep up the charade. I surprise Claire with flowers, cook her favorite risotto, ask about her day with feigned interest. She's grateful, but her eyes are distant, her phone never far. I catch her texting under the table, her lips curving in a private smile. It's Ethan, I know, and the sight fuels me. I don't confront her. Confrontation is surrender. I'm playing a longer game. Instead, I lean into our friends, hosting another game night. I drop hints about Claire's stress, her late hours, planting seeds of suspicion. Emily's concern deepens, and Mark avoids my gaze. They're pieces on my board, unwitting allies in my campaign. By week's end, I've mapped the exhibit's timeline. It's in 6 weeks, a glittering event at a waterfront gallery. Ethan's photos, Claire's designs, they're pouring their souls into it. That's where I'll strike, where their betrayal will be exposed and their dreams dismantled. I don't know the exact shape of it yet, but the idea is taking form, sharp and cold as a blade. I sleep better now, the plan a lifeline pulling me through the wreckage of my marriage. My sabotage begins to bear fruit. Laura, the gallery owner, emails Ethan, her tone clipped, asking for financial assurances. I intercept the message, tweaking it to sound more accusatory before it reaches him. His reply is frantic, promising to clear things up. I smile, imagining his panic. Claire, too, is rattled. Her startup client calls an emergency meeting, questioning her budget. She comes home frazzled, venting about miscommunications. I nod sympathetically, offering wine, while inside, I'm orchestrating the next move. I dig deeper into Ethan's life, uncovering his network of contacts. He's charismatic but sloppy, leaving digital footprints everywhere. I find a disgruntled former assistant, Mia, who posted vague rants about him on a private forum. Posing as a concerned colleague, I reach out. Mia's eager to spill. Ethan's manipulative, she says, promising opportunities then discarding people. She mentions a side hustle, selling prints under the table, dodging taxes. It's leverage, another thread to pull. I thank her, promising anonymity, and add this to my arsenal. Claire's oblivious to my machinations, but she's on edge. She snaps at me over trivial things, her guilt leaking through. I stay calm, the doting husband, while tracking her movements. The app shows her at Ethan's studio late at night, not her own. I don't need to see them together anymore. The betrayal is a fact, cold and immutable. But I visit the coffee shop where I saw them, sitting in their booth, ordering their drinks. The barista recognizes me, assuming I'm part of their circle. You with Claire and Ethan? She asks. I nod, fishing for details. She mentions they're regulars, always so cozy. I leave a tip and walk out, my anger a furnace. I escalate with our friends. At a barbecue, I steer the conversation to Claire's workload. Noting how she's been distant, Emily pulls me aside, her voice low. Is something going on with Claire? She asks. I play dumb, letting her fill in the blanks. She doesn't mention Ethan, but her worry is palpable. Mark's quieter than usual, his loyalty torn. I don't need them to act, just to question, to create a ripple effect that isolates Claire. The group dynamic shifts, subtle but real. The exhibit looms, a beacon for my plan. I sketch out ideas. Tampering with Ethan's photos, altering Claire's designs, exposing their affair mid-event. But it needs to be bigger, something that humiliates them while preserving my innocence. I research the gallery's tech setup, projectors, servers, security. My coding skills give me an edge. I can infiltrate their system, turn their art into a weapon. The thought of their faces, their dreams collapsing in front of Seattle's elite, sustains me. I'm not the broken husband anymore. I'm the architect of their ruin, and I'm just getting started. I'm a ghost in my own marriage now, moving through our home with mechanical precision. Claire's too distracted to notice, her energy consumed by Ethan and the exhibit. She talks about it constantly, her excitement a knife in my chest. It's going to be huge, she says, showing me mock-ups of her designs. They're stunning, a testament to her talent, and for a moment I falter, remembering why I fell for her. But then I see Ethan's name on her phone, and the rage returns, cold and focused. I've hacked the gallery's server. A surprisingly easy feat given their outdated security. I can access the exhibit's digital assets, Ethan's photos, Claire's graphics, the projection system. My plan crystallizes. I'll replace their work with something that exposes their betrayal, a public unmasking that leaves them nowhere to hide. But it can't just be personal. It has to destroy their professional credibility too. I spend nights crafting a montage, pulling from their private emails, texts, photos I found in Claire's cloud. It's damning, a narrative of deceit woven into their art. To cover my tracks, I use a VPN and a series of dummy accounts, routing my actions through servers in 3 countries. I'm not a criminal, but I'm learning to think like one. I also plant a backdoor in Ethan's studio website, linking it to Mia's claims about his tax evasion. If authorities dig, they'll find it, but it'll look like an internal leak. For Claire, I forge emails from her to the startup client, suggesting she's been inflating invoices. The paper trail is thin but plausible enough to spark an audit. I test the social waters again. At a dinner with Mark and Emily, I mention seeing Claire at a coffee shop downtown with some guy. Emily's eyes widen, and Mark shifts uncomfortably. Probably a client, he mumbles, but the seed is planted. I don't push, letting their imaginations do the work. Later, Emily texts me asking if I'm okay. I reply vaguely, fueling her concern. The group's trust in Claire is eroding, a slow bleed I've engineered. The exhibit is 3 weeks away, and I'm ready. I've scripted the montage to play during the opening speech, projected across the gallery's main wall. It'll start with Ethan's photos, Claire's designs, then shift emails, photos, their affair laid bare. The final touch is a fabricated manifesto, authored by them, admitting to artistic fraud and personal deceit. It's cruel, yes, but they've earned it. I rehearse the tech, ensuring it's seamless, untraceable. I even practice my reaction, shock, betrayal, to sell my innocence. Claire and Ethan think they're untouchable, basking in their secret. They're wrong. I'm the one in control, and soon they'll know it. The weeks before the exhibit are a strange calm, like the hush before a thunderstorm. Claire's happier, believing her double life is secure. She's affectionate again, planning a weekend hike with me, oblivious to the noose tightening. I play along, laughing at her jokes, holding her hand, while my mind is elsewhere, perfecting the final details. The montage is done, uploaded to the gallery server, set to trigger via a remote command. I've tested it a dozen times, each run a small victory. Ethan's world is already cracking. Laura's pulled back, citing concerns about his finances. His creditors are hounding him thanks to my tips. I monitor his social media where he's posting less, his usual bravado muted. Claire's stressed too, her startup client launching an internal review. She confides in me, blaming office politics. And I offer empty comfort, marveling at her blindness. They're unraveling, and they don't even know I'm the cause. I deepen the social wedge. At a bar with Mark, I let slip that I saw Claire with that photographer again. Mark's face tightens. He knows Ethan's name. "You sure it's nothing?" he asks. I shrug, playing the wounded husband. He doesn't push, but his silence speaks volumes. Emily's more direct, cornering me at a grocery store. "If Claire's straying, you deserve better," she says. I nod, letting her think I'm in denial. Their pity is a weapon, isolating Claire further. I visit the gallery, posing as a curious patron. The space is stunning. High ceilings, waterfront views, perfect for my plan. I chat with a tech assistant, casually probing their system. He's clueless about my backdoor, confirming my access is secure. I linger, imagining the crowd, the gasps when the montage plays. Claire and Ethan will be center stage, their triumph turned to ash. The thought is intoxicating, a balm for the pain they've caused. At home, Claire's packing for a work trip that I know is a lie. The app shows her at Ethan's apartment later that night. I don't feel the jealousy anymore, just a cold clarity. I finalize my alibi, scheduling a late work call the night of the exhibit, ensuring colleagues can vouch for me. I also draft an email to Claire to send post-exhibit demanding a divorce. It's not part of the revenge, just closure. I want her to know I saw her, that I won. The storm is coming, and I'm ready to watch it break. The exhibit is tonight, and I'm a coil of anticipation and dread. Claire's been at the gallery all day, finalizing details. She kisses me goodbye, her eyes bright with excitement, unaware she's walking into my trap. I dress in a suit, blending with the artsy crowd I'll join later. My alibi is set. A recorded Zoom call, my voice discussing code while I'm elsewhere. I've covered every angle, my tracks invisible. I arrive at the gallery fashionably late, the space buzzing with Seattle's elite, critics, collectors, Claire's colleagues. Ethan's there, charming a group, his confidence a fragile mask. Claire's radiant, her designs framing the room. They haven't noticed me yet, and I keep my distance, sipping wine, nodding at acquaintances. The projector hums above, my weapon hidden in plain sight. My phone, tucked in my pocket, holds the trigger. A single tap to unleash chaos. The opening speech begins. Laura praising Ethan and Claire's visionary collaboration. They stand together, smiling, hands brushing. My stomach churns, but I focus. The crowd applauds, and the projector flickers to life, displaying Ethan's photos, Claire's graphics. It's beautiful, a testament to their talent, and for a split second I doubt myself. Then I remember the coffee shop, the hotel photos, 6 months of lies. I tap my phone. The screen shifts. Emails flash, Ethan's flirty words, Claire's replies. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Photos follow, them at bars, parks, a hotel bed. The room freezes, all eyes on Claire and Ethan, their faces draining of color. The manifesto appears, their confession of fraud and betrayal, laced with damning details I fabricated. The crowd murmurs, some outraged, others gleeful. Laura's furious, storming toward Ethan. Claire's eyes find me, wide with horror, but I'm just another shocked face in the crowd. Security scrambles, but the montage loops unstoppable. Ethan's shouting, Claire's crying, their world collapsing in real time. I slip out, my heart pounding, exhilaration drowning out guilt. The fallout is instant. Social media erupts, critics tweet about the scandal, and Claire's firm issues a statement distancing itself. Ethan's creditors will pounce, his studio doomed. Claire's career, her pride, lies in tatters. I drive home, the city lights blurring, feeling both victorious and hollow. They betrayed me, and I've repaid them tenfold. But the cost, the love I thought we had, lingers like a bruise. The morning after the exhibit, our house is a tomb. Claire hasn't come home, and I don't expect her to. My phone buzzes with notifications, friends, colleagues, even strangers sharing links to articles about the gallery scandal. Ethan's name is trashed, his exhibit labeled a fraud. Claire's firm has suspended her, pending an investigation into the forged emails I planted. Social media is merciless, memes and threads dissecting their affair, their manifesto. I scroll through it all, a hollow satisfaction settling in my chest. Mark calls, his voice heavy. "Did you know?" he asks. I play the devastated husband, my voice cracking just enough. "I suspected," I say, letting him fill in the rest. Emily texts, offering support, her words dripping with pity. Our friend group is fracturing, Claire's betrayal a wedge I've driven deep. I don't respond, letting the silence speak. I'm not the victim they think, but I need them to believe it. My alibi holds, colleagues confirm my work call, and the gallery's tech team finds no trace of my hack. Claire's absence gives me time to clean up. I wipe my burner accounts, erase the VPN logs, and destroy the cheap phone I used to trigger the montage. The evidence is gone, my tracks covered. But the victory feels incomplete. I wanted Claire to hurt, to lose everything, but I didn't anticipate this emptiness. Our home, once alive with her sketches and laughter, is a museum of a life that no longer exists. I pour a whiskey, staring at our wedding photo, her smile a ghost. I check Ethan's status. His studio's lease is terminated, creditors seizing assets. Mia, his former assistant, posted a gleeful thread about his downfall, hinting at the tax evasion I leaked. The gallery's suing him for damages, Laura's reputation on the line. Claire's startup client dropped her firm, citing trust issues. Her portfolio, her pride, is tainted. They're both radioactive in Seattle's art scene, their dreams reduced to ash. I did this, and it feels like justice, but the cost gnaws at me. Claire texts, a single line, "We need to talk." I don't reply. She doesn't deserve my words yet. I'm not done. The exhibit was the opening act. I want her to feel the full weight of her betrayal, to know I orchestrated her ruin. I draft a new plan, one final twist to ensure she never recovers. It's risky, but I'm too far gone to stop. The man I was trusting, naive, is gone. I'm something else now, a shadow forged by her lies, and I'm not finished shaping her fate. Claire shows up the next evening, her face pale, eyes red from crying. She looks smaller, her confidence stripped away. I let her in, my expression neutral, though my pulse races. The living room, once our sanctuary, feels like a courtroom. She sits, clutching her bag, and starts talking. Apologies, excuses, a frantic plea for forgiveness. "It was a mistake," she says, voice breaking. "Ethan meant nothing." I listen, silent, letting her words pile up like kindling. I don't believe her. Not after 6 months of lies, of stolen moments in hotel rooms and coffee shops. Her tears don't move me. They're too late. When she pauses, I speak, my voice cold. "I saw you with him, Claire. I saw everything." Her eyes widen, realization dawning. She asks if I was behind the exhibit, her voice trembling. I don't confirm it, but my silence is answer enough. She covers her face, sobbing, and I feel a flicker of guilt, quickly smothered by rage. I lay out the divorce papers I prepared, sliding them across the table. "Sign," I say. She hesitates, begging for a chance to fix things. I cut her off, recounting every detail I uncovered. Emails, photos, her laughter with him. She flinches with each word, her defenses crumbling. I don't mention my sabotage. I don't need to. The wreckage speaks for itself. She signs, her hand shaking, and I feel a grim triumph. This is closure, but not the end. Before she leaves, I deliver the first part of my final plan. I tell her I've shared concerns with her firm's board, hinting at financial discrepancies. It's a lie, but the seed is planted. Another crack in her foundation. She stares at me, horrified, seeing the man she married in a new light. "Why are you doing this?" she whispers. I lean in, my voice low. Because you broke us, and I'm making sure you never forget. She leaves, defeated, and I lock the door behind her. Alone, I refine the last act. I've saved my cruelest move for Ethan, but Claire will feel it too. I've been working on a digital archive, a curated collection of their affair. Every email, photo, and text, paired with fabricated evidence of professional misconduct. I'll leak it to art blogs, critics, and clients, ensuring their names are toxic for years. But I want Ethan to suffer uniquely, to lose more than his career. I dig into his past, finding a personal secret he's buried, one that will shatter him when exposed. The pieces are in place, and I'm ready to pull the trigger. Ethan's secret is a gift, uncovered through relentless digging. Years ago, he plagiarized a mentor's work, a little-known photographer whose style he mimicked to launch his career. The mentor, now retired, never pursued it, but I find their correspondence, buried in an old forum. I contact the mentor, posing as a journalist, and coax out details. Armed with this, I craft a narrative. Ethan's entire career is a fraud, built on stolen art. It's the perfect weapon, one that will erase his legacy. I compile the archive, Claire and Ethan's affair, their manifesto, the plagiarism evidence, and Mia's tax evasion claims. It's a digital guillotine, designed to sever their reputations permanently. I use a new burner account, routing it through encrypted servers, and send it to key players, art bloggers, local journalists, even Laura's legal team. I time the leak for maximum impact, coinciding with a major art festival where Ethan was hoping to rebuild his name. Claire, tied to him professionally, will be collateral damage. To ensure Ethan feels it personally, I mail an anonymous package to his apartment. Copies of his mentor's original work, side by side with his early photos, and a note. The truth always comes out. I want him to know someone sees him, that his past is catching up. For Claire, I send a similar package to her firm's board, including the forged invoice emails and a tip about her role in the exhibit fiasco. It's overkill, but I want her buried under the weight of her choices. The leaks hit like a tidal wave. Blogs run exposés, calling Ethan a career thief, and Claire his complicit partner. The festival drops him, and Laura's lawsuit escalates, citing the new evidence. Claire's firm fires her, her name blacklisted in Seattle's design world. Social media reignites, old wounds reopened. I monitor it all, a silent puppeteer, marveling at the chaos I've unleashed. Ethan's studio is boarded up, his Instagram dormant. Claire's moved to a cheap apartment, her vibrant spirit dimmed. I meet Mark and Emily for coffee, playing the grieving ex-husband. They're sympathetic, horrified by the leaks, unaware of my role. She brought it on herself, Emily says, and I nod, hiding my satisfaction. The group's moved on, Claire a cautionary tale. I've won, but the victory is bittersweet. I've destroyed them, but the love I had for Claire lingers, a scar that won't fade. I tell myself it's worth it, that justice demanded this. But late at night, in the quiet of my empty house, I wonder if I've lost something too. Months pass, and the dust settles, but I'm not the same. Claire and Ethan are ghosts in Seattle's art scene, their names synonymous with scandal. Ethan's left town, rumor has it to Portland, starting over as a nobody. Claire's working freelance, scraping by, her portfolio rejected by every major firm. The archive I leaked is still online, a digital tombstone ensuring their exile. I check it sometimes, a reminder of my power, but it doesn't fill the void. I've moved on, or tried to. I sold the house, too full of memories, and bought a condo downtown, minimalist and cold. Work is steady, my coding sharper than ever, but my colleagues sense a change. Sarah, my boss, asks if I'm okay, her concern genuine. I brush it off, but I'm haunted. Not by guilt, I don't regret what I did, but by the man I've become. The Daniel who loved Claire, who planned kayaking trips and laughed at her quirks, is gone. In his place is someone harder, calculating, capable of cruelty. Our friends have distanced themselves, not from me but from the drama. Mark and Emily invite me to dinners, but the warmth is strained. They don't know my role, but they sense something off, like I'm a puzzle missing pieces. I don't care. I don't need their approval, just their ignorance. The divorce is final. Claire's signature a faint echo of her surrender. She tried calling once, leaving a voicemail I deleted unheard. I don't want her words. I want her silence. I hear through the grapevine that Claire's struggling, not just professionally but emotionally. A mutual friend saw her at a cafe, thin and withdrawn, sketching alone. Part of me wants to see her suffer, to know my revenge is complete. But another part, quieter, aches for the woman I loved. I push it down, focusing on Ethan's fate. His mentor's story gained traction, and a small lawsuit is pending. He's finished, his name erased from the art world. I did that, and it should feel like enough. But it's not. I'm restless. My anger spent, but nothing to replace it. I start therapy, lying to the counselor about my role, framing it as grief over Claire's betrayal. She talks about closure, healing, but I'm not sure I want that. Vengeance was my purpose, and without it, I'm adrift. I wonder if I went too far, if I could have exposed them without destroying them. The thought passes. They chose this path, I just paved it. Still, as I walk home under Seattle's gray sky, I feel the weight of what I've lost. Not just Claire, but myself. A year later, I'm at a gallery opening, a new venue far from Laura's. The art is vibrant, the crowd lively, but I'm detached, a spectator in my own life. I've rebuilt new condo, new projects, even a few dates, but the spark is gone. I'm functional, not alive. Then I see her, Claire, across the room talking to a curator. She's thinner, her auburn hair shorter, but her eyes still carry that creative fire, dimmed but not extinguished. She doesn't see me and I don't approach. I watch her, a stranger now. She's showing a sketchbook, pitching freelance work. The curator's polite but non-committal, and I know why. My archive, still circulating, has branded her untouchable. She leaves, head high, but I see the strain. I should feel triumphant, but I don't. I feel like I'm staring into a mirror, seeing my own emptiness reflected. I destroyed her, yes, but at what cost? Ethan's gone, his career a footnote, but Claire's resilience unsettles me. She's surviving, rebuilding, while I'm stuck, tethered to my revenge. I leave the gallery, the night air sharp. I think about the San Juan Islands, the trip I planned before it all fell apart. It was a dream of connection, of us against the world. Now, I'm alone. My victory a Pyrrhic one. I could have confronted her, exposed them quietly, walked away. Instead, I chose destruction and it's reshaped me. I'm not the villain, but I'm no hero either. I'm just Daniel, a man who loved too deeply and hated too fiercely. I don't regret it, not entirely. Claire and Ethan betrayed me and they paid a price. But as I walk home, the city lights blurring, I realize the cruelest revenge wasn't theirs. It was mine, on myself. I tore down their world, but I lost my own in the process. Therapy hasn't helped, and friends can't bridge the gap. I'm left with memories of a life that no longer fits, and a future I don't know how to write. I stop by the waterfront, staring at the dark waves. Somewhere, Claire's sketching, Ethan's starting over, and I'm here, holding the ashes of my triumph. I toss a stone into the water, watching the ripples fade. Maybe I'll leave Seattle, start fresh where no one knows my name. Or maybe I'll stay, haunted by the man I was. Either way, the story's over, and I'm the one who wrote the ending, beautiful, brutal, and mine.